The Allied force at Anzio lands on an empty beach. There are almost no Germans in front of it. Surprise has been achieved.
Speed is of the essence. As soon as you land, you must get off the beachhead as quickly as possible, strike inland. One Jeep patrol actually gets as far as the outskirts of Rome, so clearly there is a route of advance open.
The commander of the invasion is General John Lucas.
Instead of driving boldly into the interior and seizing the high ground over the Anzio beachhead, General Lucas stays put.
His thought is, I need to secure this port, because that is how Will would be reinforced. And so he sits. As he sits, the German commander, Kesselring, will basically pull all the cooks, bakers, and candlestick makers from around Rome and build them up to pen in the Anzio landing.
The Germans have the high ground again and are able to control the situation by subjecting the Allied forces to constant shelling.
Leading the way in the German bombardments were two enormous railroad guns, known colloquially to the Allies as Anzio Annie and the Anzio Express. These fire a 500-pound shell 30 miles.
Would have sounded like a freight train. You could hear it kind of whistling in, and then boom!
The Allies at Anzio are sitting in a marsh. They have no cover. Around them are mountains and German artillery, and the artillery never stops firing.
There was nowhere on the beachhead you could go to and get respite from enemy fire. And so what you basically got to do is burrow down into the ground and hold tight. It was just this horrendous grind of being under fire for 24 hours a day.
This is as miserable a position as any force in World War II found themselves.
Anzio is Churchill's plan, and he said famously after the event, I thought we landed a wildcat on the shore. What we got was a beach whale.
The Luftwaffe strafes Allied troops on the beachhead. Included in the effort to help Lucas's forces off the beach is the 99th Fighter Squadron, part of what will become known as the Tuskegee Airmen.
During that era of segregation, most African Americans serve in rear echelon units. Tuskegee Airmen are frontline fighting units, and they're changing everyone's minds. On one of their missions, 16 of them fly over Anzio. And then what they find is the German aircraft working over the landing craft. They shoot down 10 of those German aircraft.
To the south, multiple attacks on the Monte Cassino Abbey fail. The Allies debate whether to bomb the mountaintop abbey from the air.
The Benedictine Abbey that sits on Monte Cassino is a cultural relic. The law of armed conflict would say we don't touch those.
Of course, this is one of the most important libraries of Christian thought for millennia, and many civilians had taken refuge there.
But the assumption was that the Germans were inside the abbey and using it as the perfect field artillery observer's position. We cannot allow the enemy to continue to harass us with artillery fire, so the abbey's got to go. Allied forces distributed pamphlets warning that there would be a bombardment, and the residents, they thought, they're not actually going to do it.
Allied bombers flattened this shrine of Christianity. The bombing actually resulted in the killing of hundreds of civilians who had taken refuge there.
Allied intelligence was wrong. The German observation posts had not been inside the monastery walls.
The Germans who weren't occupying the abbey have now decided to occupy the rubble, which is incredibly effective for defensive purposes. So the Allies got the exact opposite of what they hoped to achieve.
Bombing the monastery gets the Allies no closer to their goal. At some point, infantry is going to have to ascend a mountain under enemy fire.